Yo, what is up guys? It's the Nightwing at Way of Life Esports coming at you guys with another video here today, here to talk about Bjergsen. It was announced earlier today that Bjergsen and TSM will be finally parting ways after 8 years of being together. And the upcomer actually tweeted this. According to sources, Team Liquid are considering bringing Bjergsen to the team by role-swapping Jensen to the bot lane. This comes after TSM officially announced Bjergsen will leave the team before the upcoming season. So, I remember a few years ago during the 2018 offseason, it was rumored and then later on it became actually true that Caps would be leaving Fnatic and be the starting mid laner for G2 Esports, and that Perks would end up role swapping to ADC. Now, looking back on that versus this isn't too far out of the realm of possibility, actually. With Bjergsen and playing for TSM, obviously for so many years, he wants to obviously be on an LCS organization that has won titles. Now, what are the LCS organizations that have won titles? Team Liquid, Cloud9, 100 Thieves, and CLG. Well, obviously it's not going to CLG because that would be just career suicide. 100 Thieves literally just won an LCS title for the LCS 2021 Summer Split, but they're most likely just going to keep Abadage. He's a really, really talented mid laner. Cloud9 actually might need a mid laner because it was also confirmed today that Cloud9 are going to be selling Perks, so they are going to be needing a mid laner. I would not be surprised if Power of Evil actually joined Cloud9, because it was also something that Power of Evil put out that TSM has allowed him to obviously field offers though. And then you're looking at the other organization, which was announced in this report, Team Liquid. So, you're looking at like those big three potential candidates who have shown they are successful. Cloud9 is more successful than those other orgs because they have gotten out of group stage consistently at the World Championships, actually. So, what's really interesting about this is what a lot of people aren't bringing up is like, well, Jensen will be going to ADC. And if Jensen is going to ADC, that already means that Tactical is going to be off the roster. I'm pretty sure a lot of people already expected Tactical to be off the roster because of his really bad performance at the League of Legends 2021 World Championship. And if you're looking at this and people are going to go like, well, this is going to be a really, really great thing. You have like two really talented players on the same team. Well, the thing here is I want to bring up is I have no doubt in my mind, Jensen, if this comes out true, and I'm just speaking hypotheticals here based off this, if Jensen actually will role swap to ADC, I personally really don't like that all too much because he's a really, really good mid laner, at least for LCS standards, and he would literally be wasting his talent going to ADC. I know people are going to say like, well, what about, Perch when he role swapped to ADC? He was pretty okay at it, right? Okay, that doesn't mean Jensen will be really good at it. And it also doesn't mean this will be a good thing long term though. Like, Caps role swapped as well to ADC. He obviously switched back afterwards. Perks later on, after being in ADC, wanted to go back to playing mid lane. I really, really don't think this is probably going to come true. But if it does, I mean, I'm not the hugest fan of it because I think Jensen as a mid laner, as an individual viable piece, could make any team better. Evil Geniuses could be on a really uptick in a big way if they actually were to get Jensen actually. Or if Jensen were to go to, TSM, because TSM definitely might need a mid laner after they're getting rid of potentially Power of Evil and now they've gotten rid of Bjergsen. So like Jensen and Core JJ bot lane, sounds interesting, sounds competitive on paper, right? But I'm just not that huge of a fan of that idea because I personally think Jensen is a better mid laner than he'll ever be as an ADC overall. And Jensen and Bjergsen have always had this rivalry, and I'm not really too sure how they would even function on the same team together. I've always believed that Jensen is the better mid laner than Bjergsen, but Bjergsen is not a bad mid laner at all. And if you're factoring that in, obviously they both can't play mid lane, and having them both as subs would be, like, ridiculously stupid. So you would obviously put Jensen in another position though, because if you're Steve, you obviously do not want to give up Jensen to another team because that would make that team a lot more stronger. people need to factor this into, and they don't ever do this though, which is when you give a player up to someone, you are making that team indirectly weaker or stronger, give or take, right? Now, when you're also looking at this potentially being a really, really big rumor, you know, you're looking at two of the best players potentially in the LCS coming up for the 2022 season on the same team, actually. You know, there's also rumors that, you know, Alfari is going to be obviously, you know, leaving Team Liquid because, you know, he had a lot of issues on Team Liquid this year, you know. I'm pretty sure there's going to be an article they put up, though, actually, and let me go over it right now. I mean, if you guys know upcomer, you know, Fion on Fire, a guy who was, you know, reporting for ESPN Esports a while ago, is the guy that normally, you know, posts from here, actually. Let me see right here. Cause he always pops up. You guys know who Fion is, obviously. I don't have to introduce that guy at all. Fion. Yeah, right here. Esports writer. Fion on Fire, right here. Alright, so. I think he reported the same thing, actually. Let me just scroll a bit further down. I mean, this is interesting, you know, overall, but, you know, I'm just not the huge fan of this if this actually came out true, because, you know, I personally think that, you know, it's better if Jensen literally just went to another team. I think it'd be better for the LCS overall, but I personally think, you know, that them being on the same team is a really interesting dynamic that I would like to see explored, you know, but it's like you are sacrificing a good mid laner for the LCS to make another team also stronger, and he wouldn't go back to Cloud9, obviously, if Jensen was if Jensen actually wanted to leave, you know, and potentially see how that could go. I don't think he'd go back to Cloud9 because he already played for them before, though. I mean, we've seen players go back to the same team before, but I don't think Jensen would go back to Cloud9, though. You know, and I'm pretty sure Jensen is contracted to stay with Team Liquid until the end of 2023, actually, like Alfari, because he renewed last year for a lot of money, actually. You know, and he's had a good amount of success with Team Liquid. I mean, he's literally won his first trophies on the organization, and he might feel a bit, you know, indebted to them for, you know, giving him his first titles, actually. And he won 2 titles, and he's been to Worlds with them quite consistently. They just haven't gotten out of groups like he did with on Cloud9. On Cloud9, he got out of groups at Worlds and didn't win any titles. On Team Liquid, just the opposite. Won titles, but didn't get out of group stage, you know? And when you're bringing up the dynamic of Bjergsen and Jensen, you're also factoring in, you know, a lot of people keep saying this stupid narrative that Jensen is like in the shadow of Bjergsen. Jensen is not in the shadow of Bjergsen. Jensen's done better at international events than Bjergsen has. The only person that is in the shadow of Jensen is Bjergsen. Bjergsen is actually in Jensen's shadow. You want to know why? Because Jensen has done better internationally, which matters more. NA titles don't mean anything unless you're talking about, like, historical context for the LCS. You see my point, though? Bjergsen is living in Jensen's shadow, not the other way around. If you think otherwise, you are fucking stupid. Alright, so let's go over this. Sources: Team Liquid eyeing Bjergsen, testing Jensen, role swapping to bot lane. By Tyler Erzenberger. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that wrong. Team Liquid are eyeing a move that would bring 4-time LCS MVP Bjergsen to the team as the starting mid laner for the 2022 campaign. Multiple sources tell upcomer. In doing so, TL are currently testing the transition of mid laner Jensen to the AD carry position alongside former world champion support core JJ. Bjergsen cannot officially sign with Team Liquid or any other organization until his contract with longtime home TSM ends on November 15th. Upcomer first reported back in September that Bjergsen will be returning to pro play following a short retirement that saw him coach for TSM in 2021. That's 2021 overall. Earlier today, TSM's founder and owner, Reginald, announced that Bjergsen would not be returning to the organization in 2022, having declined a mid lane position on the team for the upcoming campaign. TSM had their video. Go check that out today. It's on their official Twitter page. And like Parts said, they made a very, very competitive offer, you know, to Bjergsen, and he declined because look at it this way, guys. Bjergsen wants to do well at Worlds, okay? He's won MVPs, he's won domestic titles, he wants to do well at Worlds. TSM has proven time and 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 time again that this is one thing. You already know it. They're not going to do well at Worlds. It's been shown multiple times throughout multiple roster iterations. They do not well at Worlds. They've only did well at one World Champion. Well, two. They could have made it out of groups several different times past 2014. Yes, they got out of groups in 2014, but there is a bit of an asterisk with that because of the whole SK Gaming situation. In 2016, they had a really hard group, but I truly think they were better than RNG. You know, they could have got out of the group, but they didn't make it out. 2017, they easily could have made it out. That was the easiest group on this planet, and they still didn't make it out. You know, 2015, they could make it out. That's literally a group of death. They literally couldn't make it out. 2018, they didn't make Worlds. 2019, they didn't make Worlds. 2020, they just shit the bed. They went 0-6. It's shown time and time again. There's something in TSM's culture was just not working out. They would do well domestically, but they would always consistently fail. Like, having a player like Bjergsen, Reginald could have literally got him any player he wanted, right, to do well at the World Championship, you know? But it didn't happen, though. TSM has shown time and time and time again they are not going to do anything internationally. We've seen this so many years. It's probably not changing anytime soon. You know, I could be wrong. They could make Worlds 2022 and prove me wrong. I doubt it, but it could happen. Man, my dad could come back into my life. That shit could happen, but is it realistically really gonna happen? You know, if I was Bjergsen, I'd leave TSM too. He's played with them for so long. You know, why not play for someone else, though? It's clearly not working out. It wasn't working out even when they would win titles half the time. They would literally just luck out and win some best of fives to win titles, though. There were some splits where you're thinking, like, this looks pretty bad from them, you know? And it's the culture they have culminated at TSM for quite some time. As you guys can understand what I'm saying, though, everybody says this, everybody knows this. It's not something new or I'm fucking breaking news here, you know? I'd leave too. It's not going to get better, you know? I mean, maybe without Bjergsen, things can change now because they're going to literally have to rebuild. That's why when I made that other video earlier today, you know, that it was a good thing they got Power of Evil because they can build with this guy as their new mid laner, but they're not even going to do that because Power of Evil is now fielding offers. He might play with TSM next year in 2022. We don't know yet, actually. All right. The idea of Bjergsen's move to TL and Jensen's role swap to the bot lane was brought up first by League of Legends content creator Travis Gafford in a video going over possible transactions in the upcoming North America free agency market. While the current plan is to pair Bjergsen and Jensen together on the starting roster, a source close to the situation tells Upcomer that nothing is confirmed and things can change based on how things fit with the ever-evolving roster. TSM declined to comment on the specifics of Bjergsen's potential move. Upcomer will update this story as it develops. So, you know, Team Liquid also have had no success at the World Championship. They've also had easy groups like TSM has had a few times at the World Championship. They failed as well. 2018, they clearly could have made it out of that group, actually. Choked their nuts off, you know, or choking on Doublelift's nuts, which was probably even worse. 2019 could have made it, but to be fair, it was Dan1 and IG in the same group. I can understand that one. That one's understandable. For 2020, their playstyle in 2020 with Brock, so like they could have played fast, but the problem here with doing that is they initially turned on a faster playstyle too late during week 2 for the League of Legends 2020 World Championship, and they didn't make it out because they also didn't win the game that mattered. They lost that one game to Machi Esports, which caused them not to get out. This year in 2020, they definitely could have gotten out. They definitely choked their nuts off. That group was so bad with Mad Lions. Between those two teams, they could have literally gotten out. But Tactical was playing for the enemy team, so none of that shit matters, right? So Team Liquid and Bjergsen have a similar goal in common: doing well at the World Championship, you know? So that's pretty much what I'll say about this situation. I'm not the hugest fan of this, honestly. I think it'd be better for the LCS overall if Jensen just plays on a different team, but obviously Steve can't just give up Jensen because that just makes another team better, and if Jensen is contracted till about 2023, might as well test it out, though, you know? Jensen signed a contract, and, you know, Steve doesn't have to let him go anywhere else, though. But they did say in the article, this story is ever evolving, though, you know? And yeah, that is pretty much it, though. I want to see if there's anybody commenting down here. People can, this thing about Bjergsen's stake in the TSM company, because he was like part owner. That doesn't fucking matter at all. Like, he'll just sell them to someone. He'll literally just sell them to someone. That's it. I mean, anybody would buy them, though. It's not a bad thing, you know? He's just gonna sell them, though. It's not that big a deal. Everyone's been asking, what about his shares in TSM? He's part owner. He'll just sell them. It's just that simple. It's literally that simple. It's nothing to really, like, go crazy over, you know? But, like someone said, you know, TSM had, like, all this money they got from the, FTX deal, actually. The LCS viewership has been declining, so rather than just invest that money into a, you know, an already established player, they could just invest money into upcoming players, actually, you know, which would be better long term and much more cheaper. And if they do really well, they play for TSM for a while, or you just sell them, though. It's better that way, you know? I'd imagine they offered him some good money, but Team Liquid just offered probably way more, actually, you know? And obviously, paid by Steve is a meme. So, if you guys are a Team Liquid fan, what do you think about this? And if you're fans of Bjergsen and Jensen, what do you think about this? I've given my thoughts. I'm not really a huge fan of this, actually. I think it's better for the LCS, like I said before, if Jensen plays for a different team, obviously. But if this does happen, I can't see a world, like, let's say this happens in 2022. Hypothetically, this happens. At the end of 2022, next year, Jensen would want to play mid lane again. I can't see a world where he wants to, like, just stay an ADC, you know? Happened with Perks, happened with Caps, you know? Could it happen with Jensen, you know? If they did play this kind of roster in 2022 for Team Liquid, Jensen at the end of 2022, mark my words, I guarantee you, will want to go back to mid lane, you know? Like, if people always talk about, like, shine and getting the most praise, right? Bjergsen would get the most praise being a mid laner. That's gonna happen. I truly think Bjergsen is in Jensen's shadow, honestly, but that is going to happen on Team Liquid. If this happens, is Jensen will be in the shadow of Bjergsen. You know, I think Jensen's a better mid laner than Bjergsen. You know, it's proven internationally he is. You know, domestically, Jensen's won titles too, and NA titles will beat anything, so it doesn't fucking matter, right? Now, if you look at it this way, if Bjergsen is on Team Liquid, who's getting all the praise on Team Liquid? Bjergsen is, you know? And we know Jensen doesn't like that, you know? But I'm curious to see what you guys think in the comment section below. I will see you guys later. Like, comment, and subscribe. Most of all, enjoy. I am the Nightwing, and Way of Life Esports is signing out. More content is coming your way, guys, for the 2021 offseason. There's, I think, 1 or 2 more rumor videos that I have to put out for you guys, but as more rumors come out, I will do videos for them, obviously, because it's just always cool to speculate on this kind of thing. I can't wait till next month because we get the free agency period, and it's gonna be fucking insane. Alright, guys, see you later. Peace.